Part 5.
The fact of the matter is, transmitting electricity always involves some sort of energy loss due to resistance. I'm going to finish with some comments about voltage-regulating transformers. In other words, how the voltage in power lines is stepped up and stepped down during the transmission process in order to reduce losses. As we have seen, for a given amount of power, it's raising the voltage that reduces current and resistive losses. This is why long-distance transmission uses high voltages, not to mention the fact that high voltages also mean that thinner copper conductors can be used, which reduces costs. However, there is a limit to how high the voltage can be made and how thin the conductors can be. The reason for this is that there are physical limits and financial considerations. Let's take overhead power lines as an example. If the conductor is made too thin, it has difficulty supporting itself on a purely mechanical level. So extra supports, or pylons, are needed, as well as more pole insulators, maintenance, etc. It's all these extra costs that make the transmission of electricity much more expensive. Plus, there's the fact that higher voltages have consequences in terms of safety, so this is another important limitation. You've probably heard of how transformers work to regulate voltage, with two coils turned around a ferromagnetic core? Please take another look at the diagram I gave out earlier in the lecture. The varying current in the primary winding creates a varying magnetic flux in the core, and this, in turn, creates a varying magnetic field, which induces a voltage in the secondary winding. And this second voltage depends on the number of turns in the winding. It's these basic principles that all transformers follow. But in practice, they are very flexible electrical devices. Let me put it another way. Transformers can range from tiny items found in small electrical devices such as microphones to huge, incredibly heavy units used to interconnect sections of a continental power grid. Their use in transmission substations is what interests us today, for stepping up and stepping down the voltage of power lines as they cross the country. Oh, I almost forgot to mention your research topics. Okay, well, what comes after the transmission process is distribution of electricity to customers. So I'd like you to find out how this takes place, and what are the main features of electricity distribution.